It is a beautiful Saturday afternoon at Eden Park in Auckland for the start of the knockouts of the 2023 Women's World Cup. And we start off the tournament, the second part of this tournament, between two teams from Europe that have yet to win a knockout stage match when it comes to major tournaments. Switzerland against Spain, number 20 against number 6 in FIFA. The winner will take on I believe someone will either Netherlands or South Africa in the quarterfinals. Hello, everyone. I'm Ahirson Hassan, and thanks for tuning in on what is a Friday night here in Phoenix. If you're on the East Coast, it is early Saturday morning. What should be a great matchup in this one? Switzerland won Group A, which included their wins against Philippines, and then draws against both Norway and New Zealand. And Spain on the other side were the runner-ups in Group C, beating Costa Rica and Zambia, but losing to Japan in their final match. We've got the captains meeting up at the halfway point. Lia Balti for Switzerland, and it appears it will be Esther Gonzalez for Spain. Cheryl Foster will be your referee today. She is from Wales, so much like the teams we see, she is also from Europe, and that also goes for the VAR referee as well, Marco Fritz. Without further ado, let's take a look at the starting lineups, and we'll start off with Switzerland first, the home team today, in a 4-3-3, contrary to a 4-3-2-1, which they executed against New Zealand. But it's the same 11 out there. Gael Tallman in goal. Your defenders will be Nadine Riesen, Julia Stierle, Noelle Maritz, and Eseosa Agbogun. Midfield will be Kumbasau, Lia Balti, and Geraldine Reuteler. Your forwards today will be Ramona Bachmann and Ana Maria Krnogorcevic and Sarina Pubel. Let's take a look at Spain going today in the 4-2-3-1, contrary to their 4-3-3 they ran in that 4-0 loss to Japan. And they're also making 4 changes as well. In goal, once again, will be Cata Col. But after that, you've got Laia Codina and Oyane Hernandez on the left-hand side of the back line. Irene Paredes and Ona Batlle will be on the right-hand side. Teresa Abellier and Aitana Bonmati will be your holding midfielders. Sama Parajuelo, Jennifer Hermoso, and Alba Redondo will be your attacking midfielders. Esther Gonzalez will sit up top. And actually, to clarify something, Cata Col will be in goal today for the Spaniards. She was not in goal for the time being against Japan. Again, that was a big loss for Spain that caused them to play in this one and not against Norway. Also, look at Catalina Col making her first ever appearance in that regards for La Roja. It's going to be Switzerland in the midfield, and we are underway here from Eden Park. The Swiss in the all-red kits going from right to left, and Spain in the multicolor / light blue-gray kits going from left to right. Starts off on the left for Switzerland and Riesen. Back with Geraldine Reuteler. Into the back line it goes. Julia Stierle and Noelle Maritz. Part of a back line that has not allowed a goal this entire tournament. Only 3 teams can say that they have fallen into that category, Switzerland being one of them. The other team, too, being Jamaica. Meanwhile, there's a big run there by Bachmann. It was collected there by Coy. In the middle, Aitana Bonmati trying to flip the pitch out to the left-hand side. Pajuelo will track back, couldn't keep it in play. Going for Spain as we reach the 1-minute mark. Switzerland led by Inka Grings, the former German national, played 16 years for the Deutschland, including 2 Women's World Cups, one in 1999 and one in 2011. Both times, Germany went out in the round of 16, and that too by a goal. Lost 3-2 to the United States in 1999, and then 1-0 to Japan in 2011. This one sent in for Bachmann, trying to go middle for Pubel, and that's a good header away as it's scooped up there by Coy. But again, a good combo there. Bachmann was running in the box. Krnogorcevic almost playing like a false 9 to some extent. tried playing it in towards Pupil, but it was just headed away last moment by Arina Paredes. Now, this one skipped through by Baruelo on the left. Baruelo swung in, knocked away there. Once again, back with Spain. Out on the side, out with Redondo. Redondo, back post, chested down by Baruelo. Nobody there. Shot, no good by Gonzalez, and a rebound. Trickles out to the end line. Trying to keep in this play will be Redondo, and indeed she will. Nifty touch there on the ball, and not the best there for the running right back. Back again, here's Reuteler. Attempting to play the long ball, was deflected off. So throwing for the Swiss. 3rd minute of play, still scoreless between Switzerland and Spain. The Spaniards led by Jorge Vilda. Again, Jorge was in charge of the squad, has been in charge of the squad since 2015, and he's been in charge of the program, that is at least a part of it, since 2009. Was the assistant coach for the U19 squad from 2009 to 2013, coached the U17 squad from 2009 to 2014, and then eventually took the leading role on the U19 squad from 2014 to 2015. Of course, 2015, the first time the Spaniards went to the Women's World Cup. In 2019 was their first appearance at the knockouts, losing to the United States 2-1. In that regards, too, for Switzerland, their last time at a knockout was in 2015 at the Women's World Cup. Lost 1-0 to host Canada. This one pipped through looking for Gonzalez, and Tallman will see this out on the end line. Goal kick, but already a good chance and back and forth play, which is not something you say a lot of for neither. Switzerland, maybe, especially since they have a good connection to the German philosophy, but not necessarily the case for Spain. They've always been a team that loves to possess the ball, but they found some ways. Parihuelo, in the first few moments, has gotten a good touch on the right past Aigbogun. Let's know that Aigbogun loves to play up. That could be an interesting development, especially for the left-hand side for Spain, right-hand side for Switzerland. So another foul. Back with Spain it goes. Paredes, Hernandez, Codina. Codina in some space. Towards Parduelo. Parduelo again crosses it in. A chance, and that is off the post. It was dribbling right there. Redondo was the one with the shot. It's still in the area. Another shot, and it goes in. Goal for Spain. And it's Aitana Bonmati. What a sequence there. First, Alba Redondo with a good chance that ran battling off the post. And Bonmati putting in the rebound here in the 5th minute. It's Spain 1 and Switzerland 0. And again, that's what happens when the Spaniards get underneath you. Let's take a look at this. Again, Baruelo, like I said, the good chance. Now, the question is, was Redondo on side here? It was a flick on. It was just dribbling there. So that's why, you could feel the pause for me. Nonetheless, it was Bonmati from about 15 yards out to just pucker it in. Again, and I said it before, I'll say it again. It's just a good touch, too. It's what you want to see from a holding midfielder. Again, the biggest concern, and maybe the VAR checks it here, is was Redondo offside in that buildup? That's, I think, the one thing I might be checking. But from what it seems like, they're going to continue playing on. So, yeah, Spain up 1-0 on Switzerland. And now maybe the Spaniards can do what they like to do, which is possess the ball. And again, a good sign for a Spaniard side that was missing its flair against Japan. Again, had a lot of chances, had majority of the possession, but somehow on the counter, they just got caught up, and Japan somehow ended up beating them 4-0. And on the right, Hernandez, Paredes, back there. You got Hernandez almost playing a right back position now. I believe it might be Battier playing center. Checked back in by Bonmati, the goal scorer for Spain. Again, a lot of great players on this Spanish squad. Bonmati, the Barcelona woman making her 18th goal for the squad, 51st appearance. Pretty good record. I'll say that, especially for a holding midfielder. Knowing that they've, especially on the men's side, have had the likes of Iniesta, Busquets, Javi. It's absolutely stacked squad. I mean, you look at how they played in the late 2000s, early 2010s. 2 Euros and a World Cup. Pretty good. Pretty good for the men's team. Reason, by the way, was taken down. She's going to get some treatment here. 8th minute, only 1 goal, and it was going towards Aitana Bonmati in the 5th minute. It's a great atmosphere, great evening at Eden Park. And it looks like Redondo, who had the initial chance on goal, was onside. That was the biggest thing I was talking about a little earlier, was the chance. And then it was just a simple cutback. Talman didn't even make a dive for the ball. It just snuck past her. Didn't really get a chance to see it because of the bodies around her. And from the angle that it was shot at, too. So 8th minute. And it's Spain up 1-0 on Switzerland. Back with Paraguelo. Paraguelo trying to get around Aigbogu. Now, for Switzerland, as I said before, Spain is one of the toughest teams to play against when you are down because of how possessive this team can get. Is that something that really bites Inca Greens and crew later on, or does Spain end up changing it? Again, it's the 9th minute, so you've got plenty of time if you want to score a goal if you're Switzerland, but being down 1-0, that is a little concerning. To the back line. Paredes, now towards Hernandez. Now with Redondo again. Redondo into some space. Bonmati again. She's dribbling her way through, looking inline. Bonmati crossing it in. Paraguelo can't get to the ball. And now it will be Hermoso running towards the back post, edge of the box now, that is. Now with Paraguelo, giving it back towards Hermoso, looking for the cross. She gets it off, but it was deflected out there by Noel Martz. Corner kick again for Spain. Or rather, I think that might be the first corner kick of the day, if I'm not mistaken. The 10th minute, it has been all Spain here at Eden Park. And back to the corner flag we go. You haven't been to the corner flag here, you've been to the corner flag sometime. Swung into the box, headed up by Gonzalez, and that goes above the bar. And Esther Gonzalez trying to tack on to what has been a very interesting Women's World Cup. Again, scored one of the goals against Costa Rica. Bonmati got the other one, and then the third was added off an own goal from the Costa Ricans. And then against Zambia, 5-0 victory, 1 from Abellera, and then 2 from Hermoso, 2 from Redondo. And that too, I forgot to mention, Switzerland, that was the first goal they have conceded at this Women's World Cup. So now there are only 2 teams that can say that they have not allowed a goal in this tournament. Again, one of them is Jamaica, who will be playing Colombia towards the end of this round of 16 stretch. Meanwhile, Krnogorcevic trying to play through, can't find Pupil as it goes back towards Catacoy. Bonmati out towards Codina. Out to the right again for Hernandez. Hernandez, Paredes. Looks like Batia might be playing that. Meanwhile, Paredes was trying to play through towards Bonmati. She was going there. Gonzalez was held. No foul calls. Aigbogun sends it back towards Spain, and Batia will send it back towards goal, and it's gone in. It is an own goal, and probably the worst of them all. Teresa Abellera, que horror. Not collected there by Catacoy, and to everybody's disbelief, it is back to square one. Ay, ay, ay. I got to take a look at this. What ended up happening? So Aigbogun sent it forward, and it was played back there, and nobody was able to read it. It's probably the worst thing you could possibly imagine. Laia Codina, the left back, sent it back towards goal, and Catacoy, who was probably about 15 yards out, was unable to collect it. What in the world? Well, that is what you call a back to square one break right there. And that's probably going to be in a lot of soccer videos and worst own goals possible. Not a good look there for Laia Codina. Not a good look there for Cata Coy making her first appearance for the Spaniards. So back to regrouping. Spaniards nonetheless on the attack. Redondo now. Edge of the box. Back towards Bonmati. Flipping this too. Can't find, or rather, it falls to Gonzalez. Pariuelo back to Gonzalez. Gonzalez trying to play through there. A little too far there for Battier, who was running. Benedetta Orsi did the same. Interesting. Crazy. So 13th minute, still 1-1 between Switzerland and Spain. Again, 2 goals. Aitana Bonmati in the 5th minute, and then an own goal coming off Laia Codina in probably in the matter of just a few minutes or so, if I can pull this up. Yeah, 11th minute of play. An own goal towards Laia Codina. So maybe a chance for Switzerland to break here. They got a good chance here. Reutelau going forward. She's got options both sides. Go to the Reason on the left. That's cut out there. And it's a good cut, too, by Orane Hernandez. Out for a throw-in for Switzerland. How the game has turned on its head. Reutelau. Back it goes. Back forward it goes. Not too far there for... Now it's going out towards Hermoso. Spain got a lucky break against the United States in 2019. I'll hold that thought for a while. Pariuelo. Now the Battier on the left. Battier now inside the box. Crossed in. Deflected away by Ike Bogun. Corner kick for Spain. Not the first time Spain has seen a rather interesting error from a team at this Women's World Cup, or the Women's World Cup in general. 2019, they played the United States. It was an interesting pass there by Alyssa Nair, the U.S. goalkeeper, and essentially Spain just put it in the back of the net, as they should. Made it 1-1, but then the United States were able to get the second goal from the spot, Megan Rapinoe, the one to do so. 15th minute, this one once again swung to the box. A random header, full on. Irene Paredes was able to get past her player, and it's off target. Well, you talk about hitting the ground running. This game has done exactly that, as we're about 15 minutes through. So, goal kick again for Gael Talman. We talked about Cata Coy. So far, not a very good start for Cata Coy, the Barcelona player, making her first appearance. Then you got Gael Talman on the other side for Switzerland. Talman making her 106th appearance. She also plays in La Liga, but with Real Betis, so much smaller club. Bachmann gives some chase. And to the back line it goes once again. It's Paredes. That's Codina. Codina listed as a left back on ESPN, now playing more center back and letting Battier run free, and Hernandez kind of playing right. Speaking of Battier, there she is on the left, out with Pariuelo. Battier playing through is Hermoso on the side, brought in towards Gonzalez, takes a turn, tries to use some nifty dance moves. She takes a shot, and it's going to go off of Maritz's back and out for a corner kick. So corner kick it is. Avellera swing this one in. Crashing run from Paredes, headed up, still in the area, now officially headed away by the Swiss. So back it goes. Bonmati will not pass it back to the goalkeeper. Instead, she'll get it out towards Battier. On the left with Hermoso. So 17th minute, as I've said before. Both goals coming from Spain. This one flicked up back towards Paruelo. Paruelo can't find Gonzalez as that's cleared away there by Steely again. Switching again. Steely can't get a header. Redondo gets it. And now it's 2-1. Alba Redondo, who had the first chance on the second goal, puts it in the back of the net with a great run and a nifty flick. And just like that in the 18th, Spain has retaken the lead. Well, if you are hammering the over on this game, you came to the right place. Let's take a look at this again. Batia with a good cross in. Trying to see who got the header to it after, or rather before Redondo. I think it was Bonmati. So again, Bonmati and Redondo with a good link up, repeating what they did against Costa Rica in their first group stage match. It was a good header too, just out of reach from Talman. At 18th minute, back in favor of the Spaniards. So you've got Redondo with the goal, Bonmati with the opener, and then Godina with the own goal. But nonetheless, so it goes back to what I was saying earlier, where Spain has the chances. I mean, they've got 9 shots, 3 of them on goal in these first 18 minutes. They've got 76% of possession, which is kind of a coded thing when you look at the Spaniards in general. Does this look like a Spaniard side that now you can officially say now is in control? Again, I could be wrong. I could be wrong as I was before. But things can happen. Either way, gotta say, probably the best 18 minutes to start off a match from what we've seen right here. Good towards Aigbogun, and now Switzerland needs another effort. Aigbogun, long ball looking towards Pubo, headed away by Paredes. Krnogorcevic tried heading it up. Now she'll track this down. Batia will win the aerial duel against her. Nonetheless, back with Aigbogun and Switzerland at midfield. She'll play it back towards Maritz. So back with Maritz. I should also note this. Going into the match today, Switzerland's this year had drawn all of their matches except 2. That was one of them was the match against Philippines where they won 2-0. The other was a 2-1 loss to Iceland. And historically speaking, whenever Switzerland has gotten at least 2 goals, they have always won. That has been the case for now a few years, as this one goes back towards Koye. Pubo with the pressure. This time it's a good pass out towards Paredes from Koye. Bonmati out towards Batia on the left. And Hermoso. 20 minutes through. 2-1 in favor of the Spaniards. I'm Mahir Hassan. Thanks for tuning in on a Friday night if you're on the West Coast, early Saturday morning if you're on the East, and if you're in the Midwest/Central time zone. Very, very interesting match. Very interesting match, to say the least. Spain started off the scoring in the 5th minute with Aitana Bonmati. Before it was Laia Codina with the own goal in the 11th minute. Alba Redondo in the 17th to get the lead back towards Spain. And again, we're going to be talking about this. If Spain does not end up getting a win, we're going to be talking about that Codina own goal for a long time because it was embarrassing. Of course, Aigbogun with the usual boot forward, and Codina just played it back, and it wasn't directly towards her goalkeeper, Kata Koye, but it was directly towards goal, and that's how how it became a 1-1 difference. Meanwhile, here's Hernandez on the right, found in, Bonmati back with Hernandez. Hernandez on the right flank, once again, attacking third for Spain. Tracked there by Reason in front of her. Reason knocks it out. Throw in for Spain once again, deep in the attacking third. And so now we play the waiting game. Spain up 2-1 on Switzerland. Can they hold on to the lead for what would be about 68.5 minutes plus stoppage time. Ball goes out as it was Valti trying to keep it in play. Back with the Spaniards again. Back with Hernandez. Oyane Hernandez. Now with Redondo. She's got the game winner goal as of right now. Falls towards Bonmati. She's in the box. Still about 15 yards out. Bonmati left footed cross by Arguello. Can't find Esther Gonzalez. Collected by Switzerland. Valti trying to use some moves. Spain once again applying the pressure. Back again it is. Gonzalez out with Redondo on the right. Redondo deflected. Back with Gonzalez. Gonzalez with Abellera. From 30 yards out or so, she'll pass it back out to the right for Redondo. Redondo's cross in, knocked away, and a further header. First knocked up by Steerley, and then Igbo Goon to head it out. Nonetheless, still in the attacking third, but edge of the box. Now a chance. In some space, that's knocked away. Spaniards continue pressuring. Hermoso off towards Parihuelo. And before she could get the shot off, she fouled Ike Bogun. So it will be a free kick for the Swiss. Again, nifty turn. Again, Parihuelo, although she did not get either one of the goal definitions, if you will. Technically, I'm going to give Bonmati the assist on the Redondo goal just because she had the slightest of clicks. That's just me, but you never know. But still, so many chances from Spain, though. I mean, the fact that they came out firing the way they did is pretty exceptional here in the 24th. They're up 2-1 against Switzerland. Again, as I mentioned earlier, majority of possession, 74% there. 9 shots, 3 of them on goal. 0 shots for Switzerland. Again, you're probably wondering, how are they up? Or rather, how do they have a goal? Well, that's different. Meanwhile, Sao played through. Sao trying to cross it through the face of goal, and it doesn't work. And now the flag will go up for offside. But again, as I mentioned before, 0 shots on goal despite Switzerland having 1. And that was actually an own goal from Spain's Laia Codina. So again, not a good look there. That was Codina trying to pass it back to her fellow Barcelona teammate, Catalina Coye, making her first appearance in goal for Spain today. And not the type of start you want for your debut. But that was the one that tied it up. And then it was Redondo on the other side. And now I think a chance for all of us to catch our breath after what was an exhilarating first 15, 20 minutes. We had 17, jeez. We had 3 goals in the course of 13 minutes. Parihuelo can't keep it in play on the left-hand side. Thrown for Switzerland as they approach midfield. It'd be more towards the defensive third, but nonetheless, 25 minutes through here from Eden Park. Again, hosted 6 group stage matches and is currently the record holder for the most attended soccer match, men's or women's, that is, in New Zealand history. That was Portugal against the United States on Tuesday. Solid crowd here on a Saturday evening, going into the night in Auckland. Spain up 2-1 on Switzerland. Bonmati with the first goal, Codina with an own goal in the second, and Redondo with the second goal for Spain. That is the second goal that is counting towards Spain. We'll put it that way. But it looks like it. Very interesting match and a very interesting development here. Throwing now for Hernandez on the right. Attacking third once again. Hernandez to skip through. That's knocked out by Reason. And we go again for a throw-in a little farther down the right-hand side for the Spaniards. Again, the Spaniards team, as I mentioned at the top of the show, looking for their first ever knockout win in a major tournament. Again, their only other matchup, that is their knockout stage matchup in a major tournament. Actually, they've actually had 2 in that regards. Their first was in 2019 against the United States, in the Women's World Cup. Their other one was in the 2022 Women's Euro against England. Both times they lost, the team they lost to ended up winning the tourney. Hermoso left-footed into the box, punched away by Tallman. Gorsovic with the chest down after the clearance by Tallman, the goalkeeper. And is chested down. Once again, a chance for Spain. Hermoso decides to flick it back. She had some space on the right if she wanted to go for it. But nonetheless, we persist on. Hernandez. Back again, Bonmati into some space. Abellera from distance. That's going to go just high. Oh, my word. Chances are piling up. And Teresa Abellera almost had a golazo from 30 yards out. Just lined up to it. Actually had a good curve on it. Just couldn't keep it down. But Spain is playing like Spain here. What is a Friday night on the west coast of the United States, Saturday evening in Auckland. Again, we've got another match, Japan versus Norway, which will be coming up. And the winner of that match will play the winner of Sweden versus the United States, which will be on Sunday morning, early Sunday morning here back in the States. So set your alarms early for that one if you're going to watch it. That's going to be a good game. We're going to have the live react right here on YouTube. I don't know if I'll have it on Instagram. It will be pretty early, but nonetheless. 29th minute, and Switzerland finds themselves down a goal. Again, they've got plenty of time, as I've said before. Got about 60 or so minutes. Pubel running through, trying to pip it through, and it's a little too far there for Gorsovic. How about this, too? Battier with the initial ball in, and Redondo just got it off the bounce. Almost textbook in some way. Jorge Vilda definitely loves it. We'll give him that. So back it goes with Spain. Paredes. Now with Hernandez. Back on the right. It's going to be Gonzalez, the 9 who was out there. Back with Gonzalez, which is the attack, or rather in the attacking area. Now to the back line. Codina. Battier. Checking there by Abellera. Spain controlling the pace, controlling the power, controlling the possession. Everything is going their way so far. The only thing that hasn't gone their way has been that own goal. That's pretty much it. That one's picked off. Reason tried to play through. And that's the problem with Switzerland is, can they get a counterattack going? Can they get the numbers for it? Can they get the speed? I mean, they do have the players off the bench, like Alicia Lehmann, if they want to use her. Although I'd probably expect her to come in later in the match. Meanwhile, got Bachmann at midfield, trying to do what I said earlier. A nifty cut there in Bonmati. Good one, too, with Reuteler. Bachmann tried playing through there. You got Sao and you got Aigbo Goon there, wide open, and that's cut out by the Spaniards. 30 minutes through, Spain up 2-1 on Switzerland. Back with Paredes. And back with Hernandez on the right to Hermoso. Hermoso getting inside. Rather pedantic, pedestrianary play by Spain. And they don't need to go quick. They've got a goal. And again, it's on their philosophy to go that quick. Meanwhile, Pubel on the other side for Spain, they will go quick, trying to get some sort of counter. But other than that, the game in general has been high flying. It's been attacking, mainly towards Spain. Overall, clean game, too. I'll tell you that. Pretty calm game as well. Back with Oiane Hernandez playing through, looking towards Redondo on the right. Cutting it back against Reason. And cutting back towards Oiane. Oiane into the box. Can't find Gonzalez. Nonetheless, ball played back. Moonball almost found Gonzalez again. Abellera out with Barrio, or rather Hermoso. Battier against Gorsovic. Battier going end line, cross in, deflected, punched away by Tallman. Still in the air by Riuelo. Bonmati deflected and out. A good chance again. And Aitana Bonmati finding the space, just couldn't steer it on frame and anything. That might have actually been deflected off one of her own teammates. Was Redondo maybe in the box? Let's take a look at this. Or pardon me, it was Reason. So my apologies there. It was Reason with the deflection. Barduelo to take the corner kick from the right-hand side. Left foot across. As she puts both arms up. Here's the cross, in-swinger, into the box, punched away by Tallman. Easy it is, a rebound shot, and that's saved again. Oh, what a chance. And Bonmati is toying with the Switzerland defense from long range. She was not in the box, but she found the run, just a dribbler, sent in low. And if it wasn't for a diving right-handed punch there by Tallman, it's 3-1 in favor of Spain. So now it will be a corner kick from the opposite side of the pitch. This one lofted higher up. Paredes, the header down. Roitela goes down. The flick up there was by Redondo, I believe, and should be a free kick for Switzerland. Indeed, it will be. It might also be a yellow card, as that kick was towards the midsection, if you will. And I think more importantly, it was a kick. So either way, it should go in that area. 34th minute, Spain up 2-1 on Switzerland. Bonmati in the 5th minute made it 1-0. Godina's own goal in the 11th minute, 1-1. Redondo's goal in the 17th made it 2-1. (34th) again, and again, it's been an interesting game to say the least for Spain. Again, the highs of a good goal, the lows of an own goal that is beyond many of us beliefs. I mean, again, if you're going to see this, I might put this on TikTok later. You're going to see my reactions to the goal. I don't think it just does justice to how unique, or probably unusual, that own goal was. Well, this one flicked on Paredes. Just decides to knock it out. Battier will keep it in play on the left-hand side. Back it goes again. And back towards Coy. Coy will keep this there. Gorcevic will give pressure. This one lofted out towards Hernandez. And back with Paredes. Low ball sent in. Redondo. Ball continues to be knocked around. Now and again, Abellera. Ball deflected a little backwards, but Battier will go along and track it. So Spain again with the ball. Again, if anything, probably the one thing you have to avoid, especially if your Laia Codina is going back. But that's totally fine. Barruelo on the left. Barruelo able to get past two players. Lofts it into the box again. Redondo with the flashing header. Bonmati dancing around, takes a shot, and it's 3. Aitana Bonmati with her second goal of the day here in the 36th minute. Dancing, walking, shooting around with the Switzerland defense like it's a 5-year-old playing with the train toy. It is all Spain here from Eden Park. How about that? I think I might have made this example before in a live react. I think it might have been in this tournament where I said this team basically went Michael Jordan on them and said, and I took it personally. I think this team, including Jorge Vilda, might have looked at that 4-0 loss to Japan and said, that's not happening ever again. Because the way they've responded, holy smokes. And Aitana Bonmati leading the charge there. That's her 19th goal for her club. Hermoso picks it off. Could we get 4 before half? Who knows? Could happen. Would not be a good day to be a Switzerland fan at home, though. I'll be honest with that. Not a good day to wake up in the morning and see your team losing 3-1. That's due to Spain. They've had some interesting matchup on the men's side, too. I believe they played at Euro 2020. Don't quote me on that, but I think they did. And then Spain lost to England. That is in the women's Euro. And Switzerland failed to make it out of the group. But definitely a lot of fireworks for a late night game, late night in the US. More like early evening in Auckland, afternoon in Australia, the other country that is Auckland and New Zealand. Redondo playing through. Bonmati trying to keep up with the ball, and this time Steerley was going to see it out. Bonmati was slide tackling to get it, and it looks like the last deflection was off Steerley. So corner kick from the near side of the pitch. Oh, this difference, dude. Bonmati just with an engine overall. Not the tallest player on the pitch, but definitely enough pace and power inside of her to just fight for the ball there. And Bonmati, 5'4", and Julia Steerley, the Swiss center back, 5'11 and a half. So 7.5-inch difference there. Baruelo, another corner kick. 38th minute, swung to the box, header, just wide. It will skip through, and I believe it was Paredes with a chance. I think in the live reacts, well, Norway, Philippines had 6 goals, but I think in terms of standalone games that I've called, I think this is the most goals I've seen, let alone in one half. This is the most goals I've seen in this Women's World Cup in terms of what I've done on here. Again, there have been some pretty crazy games in this tournament. As we see Bonmati again, she's on a hat trick now at the edge, now towards Paruelo. Paruelo coming back, deflected away. Gorcevic gives it right back towards Spain, and Paruelo now going to cut outside. Back in some space. Caballera. Now to Paredes back towards midfield. And now play will be stopped there as Ramona Bachmann will be down for Switzerland. Looks like she was able to get back out on her feet, so things should be okay as it is. But Bonmati again. Woman of the match, without a doubt. As we're now in the 40th minute, Switzerland versus Spain, the only intra-UEFA matchup in this round of 16. Again, we could see more in the quarterfinals and semifinals. In terms of round of 16, this is the only matchup that is intra-UEFA. Last time in 2019, there were none. And then in 2015, there were 2. I believe one of them was, I forget, but we'll look at it later. Hermoso on the left-hand side. Also trying to find Baruelo. Batie now finds the open ball. Batie pipping it forward. Baruelo tried to bring it down with her left. Fighting with Igbogun. Baruelo trying to pit Igbogun in a spin cycle here. Hasn't done that yet, but has nonetheless kept the ball. She's now towards the touchline more than the edge of the box. Now she'll cut back towards the box, towards Batie. Batie, right-footed cross, pipped up, punched by Tallman. She tried to collect it, but it gobbled out. Nonetheless, that's going to be cleared, I believe, by Pubel. Tallman, again, has just been bombarded in this first half. And from what I've seen here, again, we've had some crazy results like Japan beating Spain 4-0. We've had Sweden beating Italy 5-0, although Italy is on their flight home as they lost to South Africa. But nonetheless, we've seen some crazy matchups. Bonmati back with Baruelo. Baruelo dancing around. Sal's picked it off. Again, Switzerland now needs 2 goals in 50 minutes, and that's going to be tough to come by, especially knowing when you have 20-something% of possession. Bonmati on the right against Reason tried playing it back, and it's picked off there by the Swiss. Pubel, Gorcevic, Igbogun, Balti in some space as Switzerland tries to go towards midfield with Reason, and now they'll go back into their defensive third. Steerley tried checking in towards Bachmann. She lost the ball there, and it's back with Gonzalez now. 25 yards out, edge of the box. She's going to cut back, tries to find some more options. Try to go with Abaya, who's shoved down. No foul called. Now it's Switzerland. Pubel, the back heel, nifty work as it finds Bachmann. Bachmann, through ball towards Pupil on the left. Pupil looking for some options as Spaniards track back. Reuteler, and now with Bachmann again. They need some sort of attack here, Switzerland. Reuteler sent in, looking back post. That's going to be headed away by Aballera. And Hermoso dribbles the ball. Played through. This could be trouble here. Although Switzerland's kept a good preventative shape, at least to stop a counter. We'll put it that way. Redondo, Gonzalez, Bonmati. Hernandez with Bonmati again. Again, thanks for tuning in on what is a great Friday night here in Phoenix, whether you're tuning in on Instagram and or YouTube. That's the two options today. We're doing an Instagram broadcast that is on a Saturday afternoon and evening, depending on where you are, for Netherlands and South Africa, which if the U.S. would have won the group, that would be the United States in that game, but instead they got second. They got to go to Melbourne to play Sweden. Hermoso into the box. It goes going towards Gonzalez. Gonzalez with a good chance. That's knocked away last moment. Back with Bonmati now into the box. Left off. And that's picked away by Valti. Caballera knocked off. Bachmann trying to go forward. And that's clipped away there by Battier. 44th minute. And I've said it, the Spaniards look like one of the best teams in this Women's World Cup. Hermoso going forward. Hermoso playing through. Here's Gonzalez in some area. A lot of numbers around. Gonzalez going towards the end line to try to keep this. Checked off by Reason. Reason trying to argue that it was Gonzalez with the last touch, but she was wrong. So corner kick again for Spain. Arguello check in. This is the 7th corner of the day for the Spaniards. So 44th minute. Again, wait and see. Switzerland already is on a prayer when you look at, 1, how their attack has looked, and 2, how Spain has looked. Now a corner kick sent in. Now it's whipped in again. Outswinger, chested down, still in the area, still going. Another shot, and this time it's gone in. It is now 4 for Spain. It is an absolute fiesta. And this time it's Laia Codina on the attacking effort to get a goal here. And right before half, right before stoppage time, you can officially say the Spaniards have brought the Armada, and they are really cruising right now. Well, you talk about the corners, talk about the chances. They have played it to perfection. The ball was just chested down, and again, very similar. It was just Spain finding just the inkling of a chance there. Codina was right in front of goal. Gornagorcevic was on the back line, I should say. She was close to the goal. She couldn't clear it off. And I'm in disbelief. This is a team going in that was the first team in FIFA Women's World Cup history to win 2 matches, both by at least 3 goals, and then lose another match by at least 4. That is the group stage matches. And then they respond with this. 4-1 in favor of Switzerland. This is not good if you're a Switzerland fan, especially knowing that their men's team lost 6-1 to Portugal in the Men's World Cup. Ref is still doing a check. I believe to make sure there was no foul. Indeed, there was not. Reason, again. Switzerland with just a reason to play right now. Not looking too good. And Jorge Vilda, if it's anything, I don't know if it's any of his tactics, the players. I mean, again, as I mentioned, they've made 4 changes going into this match. You got Codina playing left back, Oane Hernandez playing right back, Redondo on the right-hand side as a winger, and then Esther Gonzalez up top. That's also to mention Alexia Putellas, arguably one of the best players in European football right now, is on the bench. Think about that. Again, now Putellas did start the match against Japan, so she could maybe Vilda said it would probably be better if she came off the bench, try to get some tactics going. But holy smokes, Spain has come to play. Roitala back to goal with Steerley. Talman. Steerley again will just decide to pip forward. That's headed out there. I believe it was Bonmati. Throwing again. We were about 2 minutes through first half stoppage time. About 2 more minutes to go here. And right when I got one guy on Instagram, he's not up right now, but he's a guy named Robert. He and I have worked a few games before. Meanwhile, Arguello now in some space, 25 yards out, decides to take a shot. It's still bouncing. Was after it was deflected, and Tallman collects. But I got one guy on here, Robert. He and I have worked a few games here and there for ASU's club soccer, and he just said, "Can you believe Spain has gotten so many corners?" And right as he said that, there you go. You got a fourth goal for the Spaniards. Again, the only big mistake this team has made was that Codina own goal, which has now been replaced by a Codina goal. So again, I've seen that a few times. I know MLS made a video that said like someone who scored a goal and an own goal in the same match. I know Dominic Baji did it for FC Cincinnati earlier this year. At the same time, I don't know if it's ever happened at a Women's World Cup. So there you go. You know what I'm going to be researching at half. Has anybody ever scored a goal and an own goal in the same match? Not Laia Codina is in very few company. Entering herself into the FIFA Women's World Cup record books as well. Bonmati on a hat trick once again. Bonmati. Cabellera. Long ball sent towards Baruelo, who chested it down. Eichbogen with the chest down to rebound in favor of Switzerland. Now ball sent in. Gonzalez trying to play back towards Hermoso. They're at the edge of the box. They're keeping on pressuring. Gonzalez has won it back, sprinting to get it. And now Valti, the Swiss captain, will draw the foul. So 4 minutes through of stoppage time. Spain still up 4-1 on Switzerland. Talman to take the kick. Might be the last kick of the first half. Let's see. Don't quote me on that. Talman, the long ball sent out. That's one headed out by Batye. Hermoso dancing around. Midfielder goes. Bonmati a little too far as Pupil gets away. Bonmati stays with it. And now it's with Redondo on the right. Redondo playing back towards Bonmati. She's now in the box. And now she'll cut around, slither her way through. Back with Hernandez. Now again, sent forward. Reason this time to just clear it out. Into the back line it goes once again. Paredes. Codina. And with that, the first half has come to an end. And yes, the scoreline is 4-1. Yes, we are at halftime. The Spaniards absolutely barreling the Swiss through the first 45. Aitana Bonmati leading the way with 2 goals, first in the 5th, and the next in the 36th. Alba Redondo with what is right now the game-winning goal in the 17th. Laia Codina got Switzerland's only goal of the day through the own goal, but she did get a goal for Spain in the 45th. I'll take a quick break, do a little research as well to see where Codina finds herself in terms of teams, or rather players, that have scored a goal and an own goal in a Women's World Cup match. But for now, I go to break. Stick around, folks. You're watching my live reacts of the 2023 Women's World Cup, which is now in the knockout stage on YouTube and Instagram. Oh. Back for the second half from Eden Park in Auckland, the first knockout stage match of this 2023 Women's World Cup. And right now, it is Spain up 4-1 against Switzerland, and Switzerland rightfully so. We'll be responding with three substitutions. You heard that right. Three substitutions. Now, I was talking at half on when was the last time a player scored an own goal and a goal in the same match of a Women's World Cup? You have to go back to July 1st, 1999. So, in other words, that is 24 years, 1 month, and 4 days ago. It was Brandy Chastain for the U.S. that scored the opening goal. That is the own goal against Germany. However, the U.S. did end up coming back and winning the match 3-2. Interestingly enough, Inka Grings, who was the head coach of Switzerland, was on that Germany squad back in 1999, and she is on the sideline today. So that's a little interesting piece of Women's World Cup history. We're back underway here at Eden Park, about 30 seconds in to the second half. So now I got to catch up and see how many changes were made. So to Switzerland, Geraldine Reuteler is off, Kumbasau is off, and Eseosa Aigbogun is off. So for Sau, we'll see Miriam Terkun. For Reuteler, we will see Sandrine Maurun. And for Aigbogun, we will see Viola Caligaris. Now, some of these players didn't show up later. Terkun, I believe she did against New Zealand. I definitely know Caligaris showed up off the bench in the second half against the Ferns. But Spain trying to divide and conquer here. Trying to conquer more than divide at this point. Everybody's going to the same spot. But it's been that kind of day. Now back with Bachmann. Try to play out there. I believe that might have been towards Terkun. I forgot to get numbers. That's my apologies. Yes. So Terkun's going to be wearing number 22. Maurun will wear number 16. And Caligaris will be wearing 18. Here's Battier down the left-hand side, colliding there. Now still in the area. Play continues. Bonmati on the ball. She'll cut back. 47th minute. Spain not taking their foot off the gas for now. With Teresa Abellera, Jennifer Hermoso. Hermoso trying to play out right for a running Oyane Hernandez. A little too far. Throw in for Switzerland. But again, Bonmati with the brace, Redondo with the goal, and now Codina the goal as well. I believe going into this Women's World Cup, I could be wrong, but the Golden Boot was set at around 3. Now it's up to 4. Alexandra Popp of Germany and Hinata Miyazawa of Japan. Now, Popp and the Germans are out of the Women's World Cup for the first time in program history. Japan plays later today against Norway. I will not be doing a live react for that match, but I'm sure that it's going to be a great match. Japan also looked good. They were the team that beat Spain right now. So, I mean, based off comparison, you could say, I mean, if you're just going off these two results, Japan, Spain, and Spain, Switzerland, Japan's pretty good. Long ball sent, a little too short for Baruelo as it's headed out there by Reason, I believe. Is that Reason? No, it's Maritz. So Maritz, it's almost going to be like a 3-person back line, if you will. Throw in here in the 49th. Spain and Switzerland, as I mentioned before, Spain on the cusp of their first ever victory in a knockout stage, had 2 matches before this, all of which were in the past 2 major tournaments they played. One was in 2019 at the Women's World Cup, lost to the United States 2-1, and then the second one was in the 2022 Euros last year. That was also off the scoreline 2-1, which was to England. Both times, the team Spain lost to ended up winning the respective tournament. The U.S. won the Women's World Cup in 2019. England won the Euro in 2022. Got an injured Swiss player down here in the 50th minute. Can't make out who it is. Nonetheless, Gorcevic stands by for solidarity. Same goes for Maritz. And, with some sort of concern. Even the buzz in the stadium has stopped. But again, as I mentioned, 3 substitutions: Marianne Terkun, Sandri Maur, and Viola Caligaris. All right, Viola still giving instructions to his respective players. The hurt Swiss player was Terkun. So she will head off, and play will resume here. 40 minutes plus stoppage time left from Eden Park as they start off the knockout stages. Spain up 4-1 against Switzerland. And yes, all of them came in the first half. 5 goals in the first half. To my knowledge, again, I could be. Well, we saw some barn burners earlier. We saw France and Panama with 9 goals, and France winning that 6-3. Trying to see how many. There were 4 goals. Sorry, there were 5 goals in the first half in that one. So 5 goals there, 4 goals in the second half. Now, for Switzerland, if you're going to get some more goals here, you probably want them more in your favor, as that will be a throw-in for the Swiss. So out on the right-hand side, Caligaris trying to feed it in. It's not the best look there towards Bachmann as Hermoso turns on the ball. Hermoso cutting away, dribbling back with Gonzalez. Cesar Gonzalez now towards Redondo, and the offside flag will go up. It looks like she was probably about half a body outside. Closest body part back was Julia Steerley's left arm. That was pretty much it. Redondo with what is right now a go-ahead goal in this one. Go ahead, the winner in the 17th minute. Yeah, it was interesting way to start off the knockout stage, to start off this match is Parruelo. Sama Parruelo cuts the ball, going towards the right-hand side. Now she will be on the right-hand side, cutting back in. Left-footed shot, and it's punched away by Tallman out on the end line. So it's once again a corner kick for Spain, their 8th of the day. Meanwhile, Switzerland's got none. So if you're facing Spain, you better have a good counterattack, or hope that one of their players in the back line pulls a mulligan the way Laia Codina did to make it 1-1. Corner kick again. This time it will be Teresa Abellera. She's been taking it on the left-hand side. Parruelo's been taken on the right. This time Abellera, right-footed cross into the box, glanced away. Only as far as Bachmann. Bathier on the right again. Paredes with a track back. Her ball was deflected. It will stay in play with Bathier. Play continues. Bathier now into some spots. Bonmati now. She's on a hat trick. Gives it back off. Now it's crossed in. Brought down by Gonzalez. And cleared away by Terkun after it was bouncing. So 11:15 here in Phoenix, if you're wondering. 54th minute in Auckland. 6:15 p.m. there. So the sun has started to set on what was a sunny winter's night. Now it's pitch black, so everything kind of remains the same when it's dark. Doesn't matter if it's sunny, cloudy, rainy, snowy, it's dark. So now another free kick for Spain. I believe the ball will be taken back here. So yes, Abellera leaves it off with Paredes. Paredes split pass with Gonzalez. She lost the ball again. Play continues, and it looks like Valti is once again drawn the free kick. Gonzalez called for the foul there. Not trying to get into too many extracurricular activities. Once again knocked out and will be knocked around. Back with Spain it goes. Abellera, Bonmati, Hermoso, flipped up, not too far as it goes back towards Gonzalez. Gorcevic, and lofted forward by Steerley. Bachman. Oh, he lost it there. Abellera. And now free kick will be given in favor of Abellera in Spain towards midfield. The game has essentially been played in Switzerland's half. And that's a credit to Spain with their high line. That's a credit to Spain and their possession. It's a credit for Spain being Spain. Look like true contender right now as this one goes out on the right. This one sent in and just punched away again by Talman. Gonzalez was right in the area lurking for her first goal of the match. As Terkun tries to use some trickery there on Batye, she's able to spin away for a while. And now towards Bachmann on the right. Switzerland now in the attacking third for what seems like a hot minute. Bachmann. Valti. Terkun. Sent it to the middle. That one headed up. Not the farthest of headers. This ball's booted off a few deflections. Out towards, I believe, Caligaris on the left. Valti. Valti in some space. Now sending towards Terkun. Terkun, Bachmann tries to pay it off. Terkun, save there. Great connection, but it was just missing the final product as Katakoi makes her first save of the day. But Colonel Gorsevic with just a good play back there. Again, just a good chance. That was a good sequence, too. Great passing. Great way to draw Spain. Almost taking a piece out of Spain's block there, giving them a taste of their own medicine. As we take a replay there of Talman. We're just getting a pull on that to poke it away. Again, Japan did not hold a lot of the possession in their match against Spain, which happened earlier. So, and yet, as I mentioned before, they ended up winning that 4-0. So, if there's a team that, despite holding possession, can allow goals in, it's Spain. The question is, can Switzerland come back? Again, they're down 3 goals right now. It would take a miracle for them to come back. Meanwhile, here come the Spaniards on the attack. Redondo giving chase for the ball. It stays in bounds on the right-hand side as it closer towards the box. Pass back. Now swung in. As one's poked away. It was Esther Gonzalez there with the chance. This one was deflected. The rebound, that is, by Abellera. Collected there by Talman. Talman playing in goal. Bachmann is your attacking midfielder for today. 58th minute. Thanks for tuning in on Instagram or YouTube, wherever you are today. What is a Friday night here on the West Coast, and now everywhere except the West Coast and Alaska and Hawaii, it is Saturday. Early Saturday morning. But Spain has come to play. Aitana Bonmatí started the scoring off in the 5th minute before it was Laia Codina with an own goal in the 11th to make it 1-1. Alba Redondo made it 2-1 in favor of Spain, and then afterwards the fiesta started. It was Bonmatí with her second of the day to make it 3-1, and then Corina got a goal on the offensive side to make it 4-1. Mards playing through, and maybe a chance here, as the chance was giving chase here. A little too far. It was Nadine Reason, who's listed as a left back, has been playing left back throughout this tournament, but she's playing a little higher up than usual. As this one's picked off. Caligaris. Cut away there by Bonmatí. Now back towards Hernandez, who slides this through. Valti with the slide tackle. That won't stay in play. But nonetheless, oh boy, this has been an interesting game to call. I'll tell you that. Again, Spain was heavily favored, and again, I don't think it does justice that they are a second seed in this tournament, but they are. But at the same time, they showed up when the moment matters the most. Give credit to Jorge Vilda and crew. Was there with the team in 2015. I don't know if he led the team at the Women's World Cup or not, but nonetheless, I'll hold that thought again. Spain's on the attack. Hermoso. Back with Hermoso. Gonzalez. Out towards the left. Still a midfielder. Arguello. Arguello trying to send Reason into a circuit, trying to pass it towards Gonzalez, and that's going to be knocked away. Ball continues to be played around. Hermoso edge of the box now towards midfield. Now out on the right and out on the right. Redondo, a shot, and that goes a little too high there. Redondo looking for her second of the day and had a brace put against Zambia. So that I think tells you how Spain has done in terms of production, just in terms of how they played in final, or rather the last few moments. And just this match in general, too. Bachmann checking back in towards midfield with Pubel on the left-hand side. Hermoso with Spain back. Spain back with the ball. What can they do? 61st minute, still got 29 plus stoppage time left from Eden Park. Hermoso has been sent back. Caligaris looking for some options there. She'll go out towards her left. Now what does Switzerland do? Just when you think this team can go on a counterattack, Spain is back with numbers. This is how the game has gone, essentially. Took until the 55th minute for Coyet to make a save. How about this for a stat, if you're wondering? 22 shots, 8 of them on goal for Spain, only 1 for Switzerland. And that wasn't even the one that got them the goal, too. I think that's the craziest thing about it. Battier on the left. Still towards midfield. Bonmati. With Battier. Battier again. Goes down. No foul called. Paredes. Some space. Leaves it off towards Bonmati. Midfielder goes once again. And historically at the Women's World Cup, there have been obviously some teams that come out and want to play, but usually most of the knockout matches tend to be very close overall. Paredes, Avellera, Codina, split pass with Hermoso, out towards Paruelo. Paruelo looks up, left foot across, deflected away by Reason, picked up again, and Marin with the interception. Ball back towards midfield. Codina, little 1-2 there with Avellera. Paredes. Paredes, chip forward, headed away. Hermoso, before she could get it, Krnogorcevic went down, so free kick for the Swiss. 63rd minute. And we're going to see Spain head to their bench for the first time today. Teresa Abellera heading off. And also heading off will be Esther Gonzalez. And coming in, I believe, will be Eva Navarro and Maria Perez. So, yes. So, Navarro, Eva Navarro, and Maria Perez. Let's take a look at this. Got Eva Navarro. 12th cap for her. Plays for Atletico Madrid in her club days. Only 3 goals for the club, but nonetheless has been in that hurtling forward type position. Maria Perez also checking in. Only making her 5th appearance, but also one of the multitude of players who play on FC Barcelona. You just look at how many players play on Barcelona. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 players. 9 of them with Barcelona, and 8 of them with Real Madrid. So, again, more than 2/3 of your team play for either one of the 2 teams in El Clásico, Barcelona or Real Madrid. Now, if you're wondering if the women's version of that rivalry is as big as the men's, The answer would be no, mainly because the women's team is just starting up. So they're actually in the bottom division, but Real Madrid, I would assume, knowing that it is Real Madrid, they have the money, they have the class, they have the caliber. They'll probably work up towards the first division of La Liga Femenina, and eventually we'll be playing Barcelona. But again, Barcelona looks like the best team in Europe right now, and it's rightfully so that a lot of their key players are playing with Spain in this Women's World Cup. So, corner kick. Baruelo to take it. Speaking of players from Barca, she sends us in, back post, flicked up, and once again cleared away by Switzerland. It was Pubel, the one to send it out. Back with Batie. Bonmati. Just dribbling around. Spain could honestly play a little aimless here and there, and I think they'll be just fine. Hermoso. Hermoso leaves it off towards Hernandez. Hernandez cut away there by Caligaris. Was going on the right-hand side towards Redondo. Meanwhile, we see a Swiss person taken down. That was Maurin. Free kick for the Swiss. 25 plus stoppage time left in this one. And headed forward. Skipping through. Still skipping through. Now out with number 8, Reason. So Reason has essentially played her time at left back is done. She's essentially playing like a right wing back position right now. And Caligaris is playing on the left. Speaking of Reason, here she is towards midfield, trying to play through. She's got Terkun. Terkun's taken down. No foul called. That one collected by Goldina. Goldina right before it could go out. Back with Bonmati. And Spain again with a rare occasion in their own half for today. I think this shows that, like, the one thing I've seen out of Spain that, again, I think separates them from just being a very possessive team to them being actual contenders is the way they attack the ball too. Speaking of which, here's Redondo. Redondo sends us in, and it's a good clearance there. Sliding tackle by Maritz. Redondo was right in with a good chance on goal. If it wasn't for that. It was actually Eva Navarro who sent that in. Maria Perez, who's, again, has kind of parked herself, kind of actually more like the midfield position. And Navarro's honestly gone on the right now. But how about this? First off, a great cross by Navarro, low to the ground, with pace. And Mars is lucky enough to get it. Redondo was wide open on that back post. That would have been goal number 5. Picked off again. What'd you know? Here's Navarro. Still hurdling and knocked away by Steely. Back with the Swiss. Pubel. Out on the left. And Bachmann. Still dancing around on Hernandez. Still a chance for Ramona Bachmann. Left off here. A little too far of a layoff there looking for Krnagosevic. Whereas right now a pretty quiet crowd at Eden Park in Auckland. As I mentioned before, hosted a lot of matches at this Women's World Cup. 6 in the group stage. Yeah, 6. Never heard of that. Even in the Men's World Cup, I don't think there was ever a stadium that got as much matches as the Women's World Cup did, in this case, Eden Park. One of the 4 venues in New Zealand, one of the 2 venues in New Zealand hosting a knockout stage. Even the 2 of the knockout stage games amongst teams who have their base and played their group stage matches in New Zealand have to go to Australia. Of course, one of them being Netherlands and South Africa. They'll be playing in Sydney, and Sweden and the United States, they'll be playing in Melbourne. All 4 of those teams will be playing in tomorrow's slate, if you will. Here on the West Coast, that will be at 7 p.m., Netherlands and South Africa, and then at 2 a.m., Sweden against the U.S. I will have a live react for both of those matches right here on YouTube, and I might hook up Instagram as well, for all you know. Maybe a chance again for Sweden. Shot, and it's in the net. Goal for Spain. Jennifer Hermoso, welcome to the party. It's 5-1 here in the 70th minute. Ball given right back, and Spain slides it on through. This team is playing like the best team in the world right now, and there is no stopping them. Jennifer Hermoso, adding to her already illustrious record when it comes to scoring goals, and it's just a ball given back. Ball given back. The ball's played through, and Hermoso in the clear slots it home. Just a beautiful curler, too. Not much that Gael Tallman and crew can do at this point. 20 minutes plus stoppage time, and again, there is no mercy rule, but we are approaching what seems like should be a mercy rule territory at this point, especially in a knockout stage match. Caligaris wins it back for Switzerland, and looks like there was a foul in the build-up, so it'll be a free kick for Spain. But 70th minute, I tell you. I mentioned this in the United States game on Tuesday, but the last time a second seed ended up winning the World Cup was Japan back in 2011, and they actually beat a fellow second seed in the United States in the final. So, again, it is possible that a team like Spain, especially after a little bit of a disappointing 2022 Women's Euros, they made it to the quarterfinals, but lost to England and didn't end up winning their group in the build-up to that match. Able to come back. I think this team had to look themselves in the mirror. And again, I think when you look at how Spain has played, how the United States might play tomorrow, I mean, I think that this is a good marking for the United States tomorrow. Because you can look at this game today and say, you know what, Spain was in kind of now, granted, Sweden is a much better team than Switzerland. But you can still look at the idea that you're still a very powerhouse 2 seed, and you can go out and show your dominance. Spain did it. Why can't you do it? Reason? Valti. Leo Valti, the captain of Switzerland. 110 caps, 5 goals for the Swiss. Took over the captaincy in 2019, and she's also the third captain at Arsenal. Another foul called. This time, Marin. Once again, getting a lot of fouls since checking into this one. Gorcevic, Valti, lost it there. Maybe another chance for Spain. Navarro still going. She's taken down. 25 yards out, and it's a free kick for the Spaniards. Yellow card shown there to Julia Stierle. I believe that's your first booking of the match. But holy smokes. I'm stunned. I'm stunned in the same way I was when I watched Portugal face Switzerland in the men's knockouts last year, which was 6-1. Spain could do the same here. They got a free kick about 25 yards out. And Gael Tallman, she is waiting for that final. If there's anybody waiting for that final whistle other than Inka Grings, it's probably her. She has seen a lot of chances from Spain today. Baruelo will line up. She's going to take it with her left. And it will just be Baruelo lining up a little far away. Could be a direct shot here. This is about 25, 30 yards out. Whistle blows. And here she is. Baruelo into the wall. Back towards her again. Dribbling out again. Towards the left. A little too far of a ball there. And it will be seen out for a goal kick. Maria Perez was the lady she was looking for. So another change coming for Switzerland. This time will be number 20, Fabienne and Pubel will be the one heading off. And Fabienne has made some appearance. I believe she played in the match against New Zealand. One of the players at Zurich, one of the 6 players there, Friedli, Steerly, Reason, Ray, and Pubel. So she will replace her fellow Zurich player in the substitution spot. How about this? Spain's gotten it right back. Here's Hermoso on the left. Battier in some space. Oh, nifty cut going towards the end line. Crossed out. Mars trying to argue that Battier got the last touch, and indeed she did. 15 minutes plus stoppage time left. 5-1 in favor of Spain. If you're just tuning in, I'm Hirson Hassan. Thanks for tuning in on what is a Friday night here on the West Coast. And I think that might have been a handball on Myers. I figured it might have been something. By the way, attendance is 43,217 inside Eden Park. 43,217. That means we have officially a sold-out crowd, 100% capacity, and that also makes this match the highest attended soccer match, regardless of it being men's or women's, in New Zealand history. Congratulations to all the fans who showed up, and congrats to Switzerland and Spain who get to play in such a historic match. Again, as I mentioned before, that is 100% capacity, so there is a chance that we could get this a few more times. You got the quarterfinal coming up. You got the winner of Sweden, United States against winner of Japan and Norway. And then you've got a few curtain calls here. Jennifer Hermoso and Aitana Bonmati heading off. Hermoso with the goal in the 70th minute. Bonmati with goals in the 5th and 36th. And coming on will be Alexia Puteas and number 7, Irene Guerrero. Again, as I mentioned, Alexia Puteas, probably what you want to see out of someone from Spain. Not just because she has the most caps, but for the way she plays the game. Long ball sent for. That one is caught there by Tallman. Excuse me. Irene Guerrero. 4 changes today for Spain, Switzerland, 4 for them as well. Now they made 3 at half, so save for coming on for Pubel, which we saw a few minutes ago, not much in this back end that Switzerland can't do much of, but hey, they definitely got the goals where it mattered. I'll tell you that. They definitely got a lot of goals. That is, well, Spain was the one that got the goals, not Switzerland. Call for the free kick. Back towards Spain it goes. Battier out on the left. Battier again. Back around the horn it goes. Paredes. Hernandez. Up on the right. Navarro. Lost there by Caligars. Trying to argue that was in play, and indeed it is. Caligars keeps on going for Switzerland. Numbers going forward for the squad as well. Caligars trying to play through there, trying to go there towards Marin. Couldn't keep it in play. And is trying to look for some call of a foul, but it won't be given. Again, few and far to come by for Switzerland. But again, credit Caligars for the persistence down there. A lot of shirt tugging between her and Navarro. This time, Caligars will be called for the foul on Navarro. Free kick for Spain. 80th minute of play, 11 minutes plus stoppage time. Chested down by Paruelo. 1-2 there. Back with Baruelo. Crossed in towards goal, and Tallman just has to punch it away. That was a dangerous whipping ball. Not to mention Navarro crashing in from back post. But great combos nonetheless. And the Swiss are getting hammered. Looks like their defense has more holes than their cheese right now, knowing how they're playing. Again, Tallman. And again, it shouldn't be. Like, I mean, Gael Tallman's been a part of the squad for a while. It's not. It's really none of her fault, other than the fact that the goalkeeper is the CEO of this team. She's the one probably calling out plays as much as the coaches. The same thing is Spain. I think is just outclassed Netherlands, or not Netherlands, Switzerland. Spain just outclassed Switzerland. Corner kick now from the right-hand side will be right-footed into the box. Again, a few numbers. Alexia Putellas now in as well. 81st minute. This one launched into the box, headed away by Steerley, only as far as Bonmati. She tears it up, and it's punched away by Tallman again. It's Eva Navarro. Bonmati with the initial chance there. She was hurtling in, but then Navarro. Oh, wow. What a chance. It's good paced ball, too. And this time, Tallman was able to read it. She was unable to get a few balls earlier today. Nonetheless, another service into the box. Krnogorcevic heads it up. Back with Hernandez. Back with a running player for Spain. And couldn't get the overlap there. Navarro has been firecracker since coming on. So 82nd, throw-in, back in with Batier. Paredes. A midfield nifty flick by Putellas with Batier again. A good back heel by Putellas. Batier's shot goes over. 82nd. Still 5-1 in favor of Spain, but again, we've seen some crazier results. I mean, of course, in the men's knockout, we've seen crazier results. We saw Portugal beat Switzerland 6-1 in 2022. Obviously, there's the infamous or famous, depending on how you look at it, 7-1 result between Brazil and Germany, where the Germans won a 7-1 against host Brazil in 2014. In the Women's World Cup, I don't think the results have been that crazy. The craziest scoreline we saw in 2019 were a couple 3-0 victories. England over Cameroon and Germany over Nigeria. All skipping forward, cleared away there by Maritz. All the way back. I mean, chase, there's Codina. Codina playing back towards Coy, and Coy just has to not get out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for Switzerland. But as I mentioned before, not too many very standalone knockout games. Again, a few that were decided by 3 in 2015. And keep in mind, some of these were the first seed against the third seed. Dancing on the end line. Reason. Bachmann, edge of the box, tried to go in, but ran out of real estate there on the right-hand side. So it's a goal kick. So another change coming for Spain will be number 22, Atena del Castillo. And she'll be replacing Salma Pariuelo, who has put up a great shift today. I don't know if she got on the score sheet with an assist, but she definitely showed her caliber there. Set the pace, set the tone on the left-hand side. A well-deserved day for her. Well-deserved day, really, for all that Spain attack. I mean, Esther Gonzalez was always hurdling for chances. As we'll see a change for Switzerland, as Reason will head off. And heading on will be Lara Marti, number 3. 85th minute. Taking down the time between now and stoppage time here. It's about 11:45 Eastern. Back to my little project of mine, if you will. But yeah, 2011, craziest result was Sweden against beating Australia 3-1. As when I say craziest, I mean the one with the largest goal difference, not like actually crazy. It's a US beat Norway 4-1. Spain continues the attack here. Battier on the edge. Pena with a chance. Puteas. Now a chance here. Perez. Knocked down by Steerley. Valti. Up with Terkun. Terkun picks her head up. A little trip up there. And a free kick will be given. Marin, or rather Bachmann, the one taken down. So in 2007, Brazil beat the United States 4-0 in the semifinal. Again, this is a U.S. side that won the Women's World Cup in 1999, hosted again in 2003, but ended up being in the top four, lost to Germany in the semifinals, and then lost to Brazil. Actually, the semifinals that year, too, were pretty one-sided. Germany beating Norway 3-0. And the United States beat Norway 4-1 in the third place match. But yeah, as I remember, I don't think nothing that close. Nothing, at least by this scoreline, 5-1, as we see Spain up. Obviously, in group stage, we've seen some crazy goals and crazy scorelines unto themselves, but never at this point. Oh, pardon me, just when I say that. 2003 quarterfinals, Germany beat Russia 7-1. It's crazy, 7-1, and on their way to victory as well. So that's any indication of where you want to be overall. Now, I will say that in 2007, Brazil ended up losing that final to Germany. This one played through a little too far for Puteas, but nonetheless, a good chance there by Del Castillo. Trying to play it through again. Alexia Puteas, probably the face of this team, had a good chance. Started the match against Japan, was on the bench today as Jorge Vilda worked some things up, decided to bring some more fresh faces in. You got Redondo checking in that one. You had 5 changes in general if you include the goalkeeper. Catacoy in goal, Oyana Hernandez playing right back, Laia Codina playing left back, Aba Redondo on the right hand side, and Esther Gonzalez up top. Again. But how about this? Doubleheader tomorrow if you like what you see today, both Women's World Cup or for my shenanigans over here. Netherlands, South Africa at 7 o'clock Pacific. That's 10 p.m. Eastern. And then Sweden against the United States at 2 a.m. I don't know if I've ever been excited to write poetry at 2 a.m. in the morning ever in my life. But that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be writing poetry through words and football. Poetry in motion, poetry through words. What you love to see. 88th minute. Spain still up 5-1. Paredes. Hernandez knocked down. Last touch, I believe, off of Navarro. Might have been Redondo, one of the two. I believe there has been a change for Spain. Irene Guerrero, yes, she checked in a little while ago. Just haven't seen her playing in a relatively interesting spot. Did get some touches there a little while ago, maybe like 10, 15 minutes or 15 seconds ago. Not a good look there for Inka Grings. Again, she had the experience. That's one thing, though, I will say is that many of the coaches, contrary to the men's national team coaches, many of the women's national team coaches don't have experience, whether it's not from them playing or, well, simply put, half of the teams are coached by men, so obviously they can't play for the women's national team. But it is interesting to get someone with that experience, and again, someone like Inka Grings, who made it to the knockouts in 1999, although that was the quarterfinal, since that was the farthest, I could say, that the knockouts reached to. They lost to the United States 3-2, and then losing to Japan 1-0. And that too, that was in 2011 when Germany hosted the Women's World Cup and were two-time defending champions. So in a very similar position where the United States are this year. Free kick for Switzerland here. 89-42 through this one. Numbers going forward. Bachmann to take the right-hand side. Atenia, the only woman in the wall, as Bachmann sends it in towards the back post. Caligaris will collect over there. More towards the touchline, though. Caligaris trying to knock around. Hernandez just knocks it out of the touchline. 4 minutes of stoppage time coming up before the final whistle blows. And although it was a match to remember in terms of Switzerland making it to the knockouts again, second appearance at the Women's World Cup, and their second appearance making it past the group stage, match-wise, it was one to forget. 5-1 in favor of the Spaniards. Their only goal, Switzerland, was actually an own goal from Laia Codina, who was just passing it back, honestly, towards the goalkeeper Kata Koya. And this was from about midfield. The pass was off. Koya couldn't get there in time. And that's how it became 1-1. But then Spain got 4 unanswered to make it 5-1, if you will. So free kick now. We had a foul in that area. Left-hand side. Chance here. Bachmann sent to the box. Caught there by Koy. $11.51. And again, a simple catch there for Katakoy. Won't get the clean sheet, but she does get the win in her first ever start for La Roja. On the left, Batlle still running through. Putellas gets it out towards Atenia again. Del Castillo couldn't play back. Picked up by Maritz. Into the middle again. As Laura Marti, by the way, is checked in for Switzerland. Meanwhile, maybe a chance here for Maren, trying to play through towards Bachmann. Bachmann trying to catch Koy off her line, but couldn't square it on target. Goes wide right for a goal kick. Looks like Bachmann was onside. I believe it was actually Fabienne who was the one making the chance. So came off the bench a little while ago. He's put up a good performance so far. Back with Putellas. 2.5 minutes through stoppage time, about 1.5 to go. Spain was in a close one earlier on. I mean, NASCAR style pace to start off this one, and then afterwards the Spaniards just tacked on goals, and the second half has felt more like a lazy Sunday than an interesting Saturday, but nonetheless, Spain's got the work done. 5-1. This team can keep up the momentum and the energy they had in this match. I think this team can easily go into the top 4, and this team, in my opinion, I think they could end up beating whoever they face. Netherlands, they got either Netherlands or South Africa. As this one swung in, caught by Tallman. But yeah, that's going to be interesting. Netherlands against Spain, and that too, Netherlands had an emphatic victory to close out their group stage, beating Vietnam 7-0. And because they got the goals, and 2, because the United States drew Portugal. But the first one's more important. Netherlands got the goals. They got it early. They got them often. They were up 5-0 at half, and then tacked on a couple more to put the cherry on top. Batlle, that one picked off there by Maritz. Valti, pressured there. Played out on the wing now. Not the best there. As Caligaris tried to skip through. She goes down. Free kick for Switzerland. Approaching 4 minutes. Got about 3:50. That is 3:50 through stoppage time. Back with Maritz. Around 4 minutes. And there's the final whistle from Eden Park. The Spanish went into Auckland, went to the big city, and the largest attendance match in New Zealand history. And they came in with a fiesta. They come out with 3 points and a trip to the quarterfinal. and their first ever knockout stage win in a major tournament. Boy, did they do it emphatically. A 5-1 victory over Switzerland. Started off in the 5th minute with Aitana Bonmati. Now, Switzerland did get an equalizer in the 11th off an own goal by Laia Codina. Then it was Alba Redondo with the game winner in the 17th minute to make it 2-1. Bonmati extended the lead to 3-1 before it was Codina getting a goal on the offensive side to make it 4-1 at half. Jennifer Hermoso added the 5th in the 70th minute. So that's how it looks right now. As I said before, the winner faces either Netherlands or South Africa. That could be an interesting one as well. That will be covered tomorrow. That will be at 7 p.m. Pacific time right here. Of course, you can watch it on Fox, Telemundo, wherever you want to watch it. But of course, I will also have a live react of it right here on YouTube. And after that, Sweden versus the United States. Probably the most looked forward round of 16 matchup, at least in my opinion. And I hope it will be for yours as well. That will be at 2 a.m., bright and early in the morning here in the United States. So if you can, tune in. But for now, I'll head out and get some rest. I'm Mihir Hassan. Thanks for tuning in to my 2023 Women's World Cup play-by-plays and live reacts. So long, have a great night, and stay safe.